What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just driving from my I taught a fitness class in Brooklyn, so I'm just driving home right now. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be stuck in traffic, so I'll just do a live stream, talk to you guys a little bit about whatever you guys want me to talk about. Any questions you got, run them my way. I'll be happy to answer. And yeah, we'll talk about what's going on in the world today, you know, all the crazy shit going on. We live in a crazy world these days, guys. It's a crazy time to be alive, you know. But as always, we got to talk about solutions. We got to talk about diagnosing the root source of our problems. Talk about capitalism. We can talk about politics, Iran, Israel, whatever. Whatever you guys want me to ask to talk to you about. Epstein, Trump, Russia, Ukraine, whatever you want me to talk about. I'm open to everything. Sustainability, anything you guys want me to say. But at the top of my head, I would say that we have some things going on the horizon. We got the integral program that Peter Joseph is putting out. So when he puts that information out, which is basically a hybrid economy that can get us to transition towards an anti-capitalist system, I'll be making my own videos and putting it out on my channel, breaking down the different aspects of what he talks about. So I'll be putting that out there. And I have my own fitness program. I'll be start shooting that soon. Basically my anti-capitalist fitness program, okay? That's gonna help you feel better overall and connect to the world better, you know? It's gonna be very revolutionary. It's unlike anything that anyone's ever made before. I promise you that. It's gonna be very good. To all my channel subscribers, I'll give you a huge discount on that program, okay? But either way, I'm not doing it for money. Fuck money. I ain't doing nothing for money. I'm doing it because I love to help humanity. That's what I care about. So, let me see what the comments are saying, real quick. And by the way, I'm very crazy. I multitask all the time. I can drive, talk, shoot videos while I'm driving, all that shit. I can drive with my knee, literally, you know. But I don't advise doing this shit at all. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm just a crazy fucking person. But let me see what you guys said. You're from Pennsylvania. Solutions are the real deal. Too many people diagnose the problems but not solutions. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. I mean, I'm all about solutions. I've been talking about solutions like till my face turns blue. I can talk about a lot. I mean, right now I'm fucking stuck in traffic. Let's talk about that solution, okay? But we can talk about long-term solutions and global solutions, but we need to also talk about localized in present sense solutions, right? So intermediate solutions. That's one thing that's not talked about too much, right? Present day solutions that can transform the world around us to that future world that we're trying to get to, you know? So not too many people are presenting transitionary solutions, okay? And that's what a lot of this shit is, unfortunately, is like socialism, communism. That seems to be the solutions that people advocate for, but we don't have to call it socialism. It doesn't have to be called communism. We can call it whatever we want, but like, it's merely scientific testing and applying scientific method to society and testing what works and ditching what doesn't work, you know? And I think a big part of that comes down to collective management of society into micro communities. I think that's going to be a big part of it. Collective, like, I hate to call it ownership, but like collective management and getting our resources together, mutual aid programs, yeah, like building social capital, which is trust between our communities. I think it's so important to build social capital. Let me see what else people said. I want to know when Trump is stepping off so I can apply for US visa. Drive safe. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, sister. I mean, I'm not sure what you are. Agreed. 20th century labels hampers people's thinking. 100%. I agree. Man, guys, listen. So much of the solutions to get into a better world comes through our communication, right? Communication is the first step in getting people organized to arrive at a better kind of a direction. And like, so much of our communication is outdated, man. It's fucking garbage. Like, we have so much labels, right? Throwing labels around. Oh, you're a communist, you're a socialist, you're an anarchist, you're a capitalist, you are a Marxist, Leninist, you are a Republican, you're a Democrat. Even when it comes to nationalism, you're Iranian, you're this, you're that. No, man. How about we got to start with the new form of evolutionary fitness kind of communication, We're all human beings living on one biosphere. So forget about political ideology. Let's talk about actual methodology. What kind of methodology is most appropriate for human beings, Homo sapiens, in the 21st century, living on one biosphere, sharing one planetary habitat, and how do we organize our resources in the most intelligent manner? And using science and technology to research what are the best methods to arriving at solutions, not making decisions, but arriving at the right decisions. That is so different than how communist and socialist people talk. Socialists talk about, oh, the workers need to organize the means of production and own the means of production. The workers. Well, how about if we form like miniature communities of like, let's say 10 to 20 people, and we automate. Like right now we can do, like the present day technology that we have is so powerful that we can automate a lot of the things we do. Okay, we can create very intelligent food production systems and like pool our resources together. It doesn't have to be about labor. It doesn't have to be about managing worker co-ops. Yeah, I mean, those things are important. Don't get me wrong. Those are very respected methods. But like, we got to start thinking in terms of social science and physical science. Okay, how do we establish very low resource intensity communities that utilize as much little energy as possible to produce resources in a very intelligent, sustainable manner, and then tap down to what kind of social organization is most sustainable and most harmonious in terms of reducing conflict between us and destroying the idea of hierarchy and having horizontal power structures that are all about democratic principles in which we allow people to engage with what's called the participatory democratic system, you know? And then once we have that kind of thing established, once we have a model like that established, we can extrapolate that to a larger community, build communities, link those communities up with each other, and then we can use technology like AI and automation to filter information as fast as possible to allow us to arrive at conclusive decision-making processes that make things more efficient. Now, that sounds like a lot of very fancy language I just used, but it really is not that complicated, you know? We just have to take the first step. Like, people are just really afraid of taking the first step, you know? What I plan on doing is creating a fitness program that can make us arrive at the best optimized form of health for each other, but using that fitness program to expand the concept of personal fitness to community fitness. Because really, at the end of the day, why you want to be healthy for? You want to be a fit, healthy human being so you can actually help other people and connect to the world around you. So fitness should not just be about one person. It should be about community fitness. So a lot of my fitness program is going to go into also communal aspects, the psychological, social aspects of what it means to be a fit human being. So, you know, it's a lot of mumbo jumbo, it seems, but I really have plans of creating that program, and then also I don't know, like creating some kind of funding program to create a miniature media project that can put these ideas out there easier to the community, and then also forming some kind of a housing co-op where we can actually have sustainable housing using very low production and advanced efficient production techniques. Because I'm working in construction right now, by the way. That's my main job. And I'm trying to learn as much as possible. I do plan on going to New Mexico, learning earthships design, and then trying to use that to, I don't know, maybe start some kind of a miniature community someday in the future. I mean, that's a couple of years down the line from now. But anyway, let me look at the questions people ask. I see a few people joined, but a few people left because they probably got tired of me rambling. But it's all good. Yeah, Allende, Chile. Yeah, I know about that. CyberSim was really good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, starting a co-op is very important. I think it's very important. Starting a co-op, it's just hard to take that first step. And people are kind of afraid of, you know, stepping into the unknown, you know. That can be kind of a problem for them. But I know what you're talking about. Allende in Chile was attempting to do this in the 70s with cybernetics to coordinate production and distribution in an equitable way before he was couped. Yeah, of course. And I plan on making a video about that because that really was one of the most powerful examples of what we can do to bring about change. I mean, Salvador Allende, man. Allende was a fucking badass motherfucker. I hate to use bad language, but like, I mean in the most respectable way. He hired the group of technicians from Canada, Stafford Beer. He brought them together to use cybernetics and like intelligent systems management, you know, right? So like they use, I mean, those primitive form of computers back then, but like they use the computers to calculate resource usage, right? Energy usage, and how we can actually calculate societal decision making, right? So the economy was very much managed by technical means as opposed to political means, you know? I mean, it's really insane how today politics is a bunch of fucking bureaucrats sitting around a table, and then they just sit around and mumbo jumbo. They talk about a bunch of bullshit, and then usually whoever funds them behind the scenes makes the decisions. So usually the banks and the corporations make the decisions for society, not the politicians. And the politicians do not represent the people. I mean, just look what happened a little while ago with AOC. AOC was all about Zohran Mamdani. Okay, what the fuck did she do? She ended up voting no for a resolution to cut off funding to Israel. What a fucking hypocrite. So who owns AOC then? Obviously she's not a representative of the people, because the people don't want the United States to fund Israel anymore. But what happened? So we have to bystep that process and get to a point where politics is not handed in the politics should not be handed off to a bunch of bureaucrats who are untrustworthy, and we don't know where their funding comes from. Politics should be governed in the realm of system science and cybernetics to the point that we basically design computer technology in the realms of sustainability science. So like, okay, the computers are designed to maximize resource efficiency. So like, okay, the industrial process, the energy process is all collectively synergized in a way where any kind of economic process of production, energy usage needs to be sustainable. So the methods have to be ideally renewable based, or food production has to be done in a sustainable manner, either permaculture, and automation should be used as much as possible to remove labor, and make the process as harmless to the environment as possible, and also energy efficient. Now, and then on the other level, localizing the process of economic access. So you localize the communities as much as possible, and then the decision making is not some bureaucratic elitist method. Instead, the decision making process is computers analyzing information very rapidly in a way that, I know people think so negatively of technology because capitalism, when technology is misused, it's because of capitalism. It's not because of technology. So when we bystep the process of capitalism influencing everything, and we have a bunch of computers that are designed to meet human needs in a sustainable manner, then the technology and the computer technology can actually provide decisions that benefit everybody collectively, and that can 100% be done. When you have a horizontal power structure, that can be done. But under capitalism, which is a hierarchical system and a patriarchal system, that can never be done. So the problem with the misuse of technology is not humanity. The problem is fucking capitalism, okay? But I'm gonna look at some of your comments, guys. I'm in traffic, I can talk. I can read the comments a little bit. Experimentation is the key for growth. Yes, 100%. We have to experiment as much as possible. We shouldn't be using people for experiments without their consent. That's against human rights. Of course, we're not going to experiment on people without their consent. Experimentation should be done in the most humane manner possible, of course. I agree with that. We shouldn't be using people for agreed. Zion, of course, Zion, we agree with you. People of Earth, what's up? AER, I know you. You're a familiar face. Allende theories, framework of cybernetics has been co-opted by these tech oligarchs. 100%, I agree with you. First, Walmart and Amazon paired with just-in-time manufacturing proves that a planned sustainable economy can work. Yes, I agree with you. Like, even though Amazon's a horrible, evil corporation, at least what they're doing, where they have a centralized structure, where they use a lot of AI to arrive at decisions, that is actually a good example of how a sustainable post-capitalist economy can actually work. 100% I agree with you. Like, a lot of these big corporate structures actually are using a lot of intelligent methods. Unfortunately, they use it for profit, right? And for growth. Now, we can learn from that. Like Walmart We can learn how Walmart utilizes their technology to account for inventory, for example, right? And all these things are already done so much on a global industrial scale. That can be done in a sustainable manner as well. But capitalism is just a fucking wasteful system. We overproduced way too much under capitalism. That's why it's so wasteful. But in a steady state economy, we don't have to overproduce. Things can be done much more intelligently, and that's the point. Okay, let me see. Removing the profit motive can mean people can come first. Of course, tech is always political. Yeah, I agree with you, 100%. I agree with you. Jeremiah making some great points here, man. Jeremiah dropping some knowledge. Shit, he can take over the stream maybe. I can fucking focus on my driving. No, I'm kidding. I'm just stuck in traffic right now. Still gonna be a while before I get home. But yeah, guys, some good ideas, man. I mean, I'm sure a lot of listen, a lot of the people who follow my channel, they're fucking educated people. These big channels, like these massive political channels, they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Just a bunch of followers, man. You guys are your own leaders, I'm sure. You don't have to hear shit from me. You guys already know. A lot of you guys know what's up. These big political channels, they just talk a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of nonsense, just complaining, a bunch of fucking nonsense, and it's just a shame, man, to see that kind of rhetoric. You know, they're just like, you see how a lot of these channels, especially these anti-Israel channels, anti-American Empire channels, they're doing the right stuff, but like, it's a lot of echo chamber. They're stuck in their own echo chamber. They only welcome their own people. They don't want any outsiders to come in. They'll never want someone like me to come in because they're not anti-capitalist. They're not truly anti-capitalist. They're just like, they're pro like soft capitalism. And they're just like mostly anti-imperialism than pro-sustainability, really, if you think about it, you know? So they're just talking a lot of echo chamber nonsense. It's just a lot of waste of time. They're just there for the vibes, man. They're just there to make themselves feel better. However, if I was invited to these channels, I was allowed the chance to discuss with them what the resource-based economy is and Jacques Fresco's ideal, you know, his vision. But not even Jacques Fresco, just like the overall movement of sustainability, you know? These ideas are still so foreign to these people. Like, it needs to be proliferated among them, you know? So I'm hoping to get some discussions with them in the future. I'm hoping that I get invited to these big channels, and then I can start talking to them about my ideas. And it's not my ideas, you know, it's just the ideas of pro-sustainability thinking, you know, 21st century, logic-oriented, structuralist philosophy, you know, using systems thinking to understand how we have to tap down to the life ground and to the benchwork of scientific logic in order to even understand what the hell a society is supposed to look like, you know? These people have no idea. Anyway, let's see what's up, guys. You are an armchair academic? Well, that's good. I mean, hey, listen, better to be that than all these other fucking people out there who have absolutely no political affiliation or anything, you know? People in society are so neutral, and that is so negative, because when you're so neutral, you're not neutral. If you're neutral in capitalism, guess what? You're a capitalist. You're an unwilling capitalist, basically. Subconscious capitalist. There's no such thing as neutrality in today's world. There's absolutely no thing as neutrality in today's world. Sustainability is always forgotten by these big channels. Absolutely. They forgot we live in a biosphere, firstly. Yeah, of course. Everything is interrelated, guys. Everything's interconnected and interrelated. So someone like me, they'll probably be like, oh, this guy's a kook. This guy's a fucking like global climate change person. Like, as if it's so bad. Like, so many of these, if you notice, so many of these anti-imperial channels are like climate change deniers. It's really scary, man. It's fucking scary. Climate change literally is the most important issue of our time. It's by far the most important issue of our time. It's just crazy how these, like Jimmy Dore, that guy's a fucking scumbag. He's a fucking scumbag. I remember I had a conversation with Jimmy Dore back in 2016 in Los Angeles, because I invited him to my show. By the way, guys, I hosted a show, the Zeitgeist Media Festival, back in 2016 when I lived in LA, and Peter Joseph came to my show. It was freaking awesome. We did a really good recording, but unfortunately the audio came out so bad, we just threw the whole video out. But like, Jimmy Dore came to my show and did a stand-up comedy routine. And I talked to him for a little bit outside of it, and I realized what an egomaniac that guy is. He's such an egomaniac, because I was like, looking, hey, what's up, Jimmy? Like, you come a long way. I know at the beginning you kind of thought capitalism was good, and now you're kind of starting to understand that capitalism is bad. And he was like, what? He looked so insulted. Oh, what? I was always an anti-capitalist. I was like, no, you weren't, bro. I saw literally, I have videos of you saying that capitalism is good. And because I was just like, I'm just holding him to the ground. I was holding him accountable. He got so mad at me. He got so angry at me. And then he was just like, he brushed me off, you know? I could tell right there, he has a very fragile ego. And fuck that guy. He fucking promoted Trump the whole time. He thought Trump was gonna be an anti-war president. That guy's a fucking idiot. He's just a very misled person, a very sad human being. Sad human being. The thing with me, guys, is like, I don't care which celebrity or famous person you put in front of me. I don't give a fuck. They're just a human being. They're just a human being. I don't care if you have 1 million followers. If you talk to me, I'm gonna treat you with respect, but also I'm gonna treat you like doesn't matter if you're a homeless person or if you're a celebrity. I'm gonna treat you with respect and talk to you on a one-to-one basis. I don't give a shit what background you have. I'm gonna hold you accountable, and I hope you hold me accountable as well. That's how we should be treating these so-called celebrities, you know? I don't care how many followers you got. I don't give a shit. But what matters is what goes on over here in your head. And a lot of these people with these big channels, they're actually egomaniacs, who just like they get their fucking balls stroked all the time by their followers, you know? They got a bunch of cult-like followers, like cult of personality, and they end up, because of that, they form a huge, massive ego. That's the main problem, guys, with the whole media sphere, the whole YouTube sphere. Anyway, let me see what some of the comments, guys. And the biosphere is being devastated, while at the same time, so many people around the world live lives of drudgery. It's disgusting seeing so much waste while people go hungry. Yeah, of course, guys, of course. With great power comes great responsibility, but the powerful are rarely held accountable, of course. You know, I was actually talking to my friend Zach last night. You know, you guys have seen the new Superman movie? The new Superman movie? I haven't seen it, but like, it's amazing. It's amazing that Superman has become like an anti-imperialist in that movie, and he fights for God, like, you know, what seems to be their version of Gaza. It's such an incredible reflection of the Israel genocide on Gaza that it's like, okay, I'm not sure if they're trying to, in an evil way, use that as a way to generate revenue for themselves, because they know that how much the anti-genocide movement is so big in America. But whatever the case, it was pretty cool seeing all the Israel people freak out. It's like, you see the way they freak out? Like, okay, it's not mentioned that like it's an anti-Israel movie, but the fact that you get so triggered by an advanced army bombing civilian defenseless population, and you get so triggered by that, it's like, okay, you deep down know that you're committing a genocide, I guess, but you're cool with it. And it speaks volumes to the fact that, in my view, Superman is one of the coolest concepts in comic book history. Because let me explain to you why I love Superman so much. As a child growing up, I liked Batman more because he seemed more gritty and cool. But the more I think about it, Batman's an asshole. Batman's a psychopathic narcissist who has mental issues, you know? And for Batman, his true identity is actually Batman. It's not Bruce Wayne, right? I hope you guys know that. Like, Batman's true identity is Batman. It's not Bruce Wayne. So when he puts on the cape, that's him being his actual true self. He does not like being Batman. Does not like being Bruce Wayne. Superman, on the other hand, Superman's true identity is Clark Kent. It's that young, humble farm boy living in whatever it was, Kansas or whatever. I don't know. No, Smallville. Smallville. Superman's true identity is Clark Kent, being raised by a humble farming mother and father, having no idea he came from Krypton originally, right? And then having no idea he has so much power, but because he was raised with gentle, loving parents, he ends up becoming a very responsible actor. He does not want to kill anybody. He has the power to destroy the entire planet, but he will not do that because he's Superman. Superman is all about gentle. It's all about self-restraint. The most powerful thing about Superman is self-restraint. He can easily crush anybody if he wants, right? At least, you know, I don't know if you guys know about Darkseid or the whole multiverse and all that shit, but like, when you focus on just regular human beings, he can easily kill a regular human being, but he doesn't do that because he practices self-control. So Superman is a perfect embodiment of somebody who has tremendous power, yet he exercises that power in a really responsible manner. he shows self-control. Israel, on the other hand, is the exact opposite of that. Because they can kill women and children, they will do that. Because they can murder and rape people, they will do that. If the U.S. gives them the carte blanche to do whatever they want, they'll go ahead and genocide people. They don't give a fuck. So that's why Israel is so pathetic. They're such weaklings, you know. And as soon as they get punched in the face by Iran, they start crying victim. So that's why I love Superman. And also Spider-Man is kind of the same concept, but it's more of a humane level. But Superman is such a beautiful idea of somebody who's got so much power, yet he does not like being Superman. He likes being Clark Kent. He wants the world to accept him as Clark Kent. He wants Lois Lane to fall in love with Clark Kent, not with Superman, which is such a beautiful thing. Because like, he wants to just be that average guy who works in a Daily Planet. He's just a reporter, right? He's a really humble reporter coming from a farm family. There you go. That is what we should all strive to be. That's what I want to be. I mean, I could not be 1% of Superman. I'm a very, in some ways, I'm an egotistical person. I do kind of fucked up things in my past. I've done bad things, but I'm trying to be a better person. But we can all learn a lot from people like Superman, you know, to be better human beings. But let me check out some of the comments. You know, we got some good discussion going on here, guys. All right. I'm so glad you guys are still tuning in and staying with the stream to continue with this discussion, because we're having some good discussions, right? I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm talking about. Let me see. What's my thoughts on the increase of loneliness and alienation? As a crisis driven by capitalism and more social and human society will drive the mental issue. We need more Supermans in the world. Yeah, I mean, there's a very big loneliness epidemic. Of course, I agree with you. And like, all right, I'll share with you guys a little bit about my life story. Okay, a little bit, not too much. I don't want to give too much away. I don't think you want to know the whole story because you probably would cringe. But I went through a period of my life where I became a diehard activist, where it was like, my friends would call me the resource-based economy fundamentalist. Okay, so like, it was my way or the highway. If you don't agree with 100% of what I'm saying, fuck you. That's how I used to be. It was very toxic, and like, I pushed a lot of people away from me. Okay, so when I first got into sustainability activism, I had a fiance, I was engaged, I had a bunch of friends I was hanging out with on a usual basis, and I was in touch with my family. I had a bunch of family members in the United States I was in touch with. Because I became so obsessed with being a fundamentalist when it comes to sustainability, I pushed everybody away. I broke up with my fiance, I pushed my friends away, majority of them, and then most of my family thought I'm crazy. They turned their back on me. So I literally forced a situation of tremendous alienation and loneliness onto myself. I welcomed it, you know? And then I was like, wow. When I got to that point, I was like, oh my God, this is actually very fucking painful. Look what I've done. I literally have turned the whole world away from myself, and now I'm all by myself. And nobody can stand being around me anymore. And so I had to go through a process of learning the hard way to be a little bit more flexible, be a little more forgiving on people, be a little more accepting of people's flaws, like my own flaw. Like, I thought, you know, I was too hard on myself as well, but like, be accepting of my own flaws and have more self-love towards myself and not be doing so much self-destructive behaviors, you know? And so I learned the hard way, but I've come back to life. I've rebounded. I'm in a better place in life. You know, I have good friends in my life who care about me. And, you know, I'm forming a fitness community now in Brooklyn. I'm very close to my uncle, who's a very good man. You know, I'm really happy to have my uncle in my life. He's basically my boss. I work for him right now doing construction. And I'm slowly getting in touch with my family again and rebuilding my old destroyed relationships, you know? So, you know, but I feel really bad for people out there who have nothing, you know? People out there who are so lonely and don't have anybody in their life. So I hope to be a force of good for you in your life. If you're alone by yourself, you gotta be brave. Step out there. Put yourself in vulnerable situations, and be willing to express vulnerability to the world outside. And through doing that, you can find true people who actually care about you. Okay, so don't try to just engage in feel-good activities, but try to engage with people who will accept you for who you are. Okay, do not try to make friends for the sake of making friends, because those are going to be fake friends. You want to make friends who are truly accepting of all your flaws and all your positives as well. You may make a lot less friends, but that's better. Okay, I personally don't have a lot of friends, but I have a few very good friends who will do anything for me. Okay, I have very loyal friends. I don't want a bunch of fucking flaky, shitty friends who are fake, who are only there for the good times. You know, I don't want those kind of people in my life. I want people who are there for the good and the bad times. Because I'm a loyal friend myself. If you have me as a friend, I will do anything for you. Because I believe in loyalty. Loyalty is very important to me. If I cannot stand disloyal behavior, I believe in loyalty. Loyalty first, above everything else. Actually, you know, people say cats are not loyal creatures. Actually, my cats are very loyal creatures. So, I don't believe in that bullshit. Cats are very loyal creatures. My cats are extremely loyal to me. All right, let me look at the comments, guys. It's goddamn fucking traffic, man. It's insane, the traffic. What a waste, right? What a waste of fucking human potential. The amount of hours that we can add up of people sitting in traffic is literally another, like, besides poverty, besides financial theft, there's also time theft. Time theft. The amount of time we're wasting in fucking lines, in sitting in lines and traffic, it's just a waste of human potential. Waste of time, man. The ultimate resource is time, right? Isn't it? We all have, no matter how much money you have in the world, your actual finite resource is time. You're all gonna die. We're all gonna die someday, you know. So, all right. Let me look at the comments a little bit. You said Ratty 101 said, join a local sustainability group. Mostly likely there will be like-minded people who don't need a lot of convincing to accept system. Yeah, of course. Great advice. I gotta hop off. Great, cool, man. Good to talking to you. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining the discussion. I might have to end. I guess I might end the thing soon, but I hope it's been a good discussion so far. Sometimes my live streams get very few views, so I would appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. You know. But the last one, I mean, I think the last one it was, or the one before that, got 9,000 views. It's kind of fucking crazy, dude. Sometimes these videos go crazy viral. Sometimes they don't go viral at all. So it all depends on what I'm doing, I guess. I guess when I'm in a city, I get more views. But right now I'm on a highway. I don't know why. It's like YouTube is just a really weird. I don't think YouTube is like shadow banning me, but I think YouTube just does not promote me sometimes because I'm not doing. Maybe I'm not playing it right. I'm not sure, but anyway. Let me see. I've noticed that people get scared of uncomfortable when you try to tell them the truth about our government and economic. Yeah, of course. I mean, I've scared the shit out of a lot of people by going a little too hard with my ideology and sharing too much information too fast, you know? So like today I was actually, well, you know, I hang out with people and I try to be a little softer, a little slower with how I divulge information these days. Anyway, guys, I'm looking forward to today. I'm gonna go home. I'm supposed to go out with some friends later. I'm supposed to go out with this girl, but I'm gonna go and work on my YouTube video. I'm making a video about Elon Musk called the Doge Rage. So I'm making a video about the Doge Rage. And then maybe if I feel up to it, I'll go out, you know, later and have some fun. Maybe have a drink or some shit. But I'm trying to be more healthy these days. I'm trying to get back to working out. I've been such a lazy fucking slob. I'm too hard on myself, to be honest. I mean, I expect a lot from myself. I want to be completely jacked and super athletic and full of energy all the time, but that just sometimes is unrealistic when you got a lot of things to do. Like yesterday, I was doing a lot of electric work. I was just fixing all these electrical outlets, and like my posture was destroyed because I'm gonna have to sit there hunched over for fucking 5 hours in a row. That destroys your posture. It really destroys you. Anyway, what's up, guys? All right, it's been an awesome discussion, by the way. I really appreciate your comments, guys. Much love to all of you from wherever in the world you are. But let me see the comments. I'll read the last few comments and then I'm going to log off, okay? Because the traffic is dying down. And when I'm driving, it's going to be much more dangerous. So let me pull over the comments and I will log off, guys. Thank you so much for joining the discussion. I feel so proud. I got like 3 fans in the entire world. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta engage in self-depreciation and humor sometimes to get by your day. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. I got 4 fans, yo. Woohoo! Yeah. 7 likes. All right. What's up? Let's see. So true. I think it's very because they can't see a better way. Of course, yeah. I mean, that's how people are. Look, self-preservation is a very key psychological mechanism that keeps most people back from realizing their true potential. You know, that's a bitch, man. That's a bitch to deal with. Self-preservation. Self-preservation, survival of your identity. Like, if you just take away capitalism, but don't give people some alternative, they're gonna feel hurt. So you gotta always replace capitalism with something better than capitalism, right? That's what's so important about what we do, guys. All right. It's like the Bucky Fuller quote. Yeah, people don't leave a sinking ship until they see the lights of a new ship approaching. Of course, that goes into what we're talking about, and also the other Bucky Fuller quote. To create a new reality, you must provide a new alternative that makes the existing establishment obsolete. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for joining the discussion. I'm going to log off now. It's been a good stream. I feel like it's been productive. We talked about some good stuff. Much love. Keep the fight going. And fuck capitalism. I'll talk to you all soon. I got a bunch of videos coming out, guys. Please look forward to my channel. I'll be putting out some really good content soon. I promise you. I promise you. I know I keep promising it, and I don't deliver that well, but I'm doing my best, man. I'm just too busy these days, doing a lot of shit. And I had some injuries to go through to fix my body up. I'm still trying to rebuild myself to where I used to be. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. Much love. Wherever you are in the world, I love you. I respect you. And I respect your time. Peace out. Much love. Peace. Fuck capitalism.